and it's about pop culture things, like anything pop culture that you can imagine. Such as today we have like some 80s vintage awesome action figures, and we also have my friend Russ, or I like to call him Russquatch, because that's just what it says on Facebook, and I like it. I like the sound of it.
Yeah, nickname.
Yeah, he's a vintage toy collector, right?
Oh yeah, yep. I've been collecting toys since I was in the 8th grade, and started with Star Wars.
Yeah, I've been collecting them since I was like my son's, well, younger than how old he is now, since I was like 3 or 4. Yeah. So yeah, we have some here. We have some crazy different toys from back in the day, back in the ages.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Decade of the 80s.
Yeah, the 80s. So what's the deal with the 80s? I mean, what made it pivotal for toy collecting?
Well, I think what's happened is that in the 60s, there wasn't, they had a couple TV shows, cartoons were around. 70s, they had cartoons, but they didn't have the toy tie-ins.
Mm-hmm.
But then the 80s came, and they, regulations and everything, and what was allowed to become a TV show or cartoon, they allowed more tie-ins, so you can actually watch cartoons that you could go out and buy toys for.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so when's this from? Is this from like the 70s or 60s?
That is Amigo Spider-Man. They first came out in 72, 73, and he was produced until 82. And that's when Mego Corporation went out of business.
Well, I like it. Well, you know what I think about the 80s when I think about toys and everything? I think about how it was around, 84 or something, when they came out with Transformers, G.I. Joes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, roughly around that time frame. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, definitely. 84 was such a big year.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the biggest icons of the 80s was He-Man, of course.
He-Man.
And, of course, the He-Man toys were produced before the cartoon. They were around in 82.
I think that was the same with Transformers. I think they came out with a line of figures, and then they created the cartoon to go with the figures.
It was.
I thought.
Well, with Transformers, they were one of the first ones. I think they almost came out at the same time.
Yeah.
The Transformers were actually a Japanese line, and they had several different Japanese toy lines. That's why you get Optimus Prime is huge, and then you have Huffer, Bumblebee, and they're small. And they're out of scale, and it's because they were actually 2 different toy lines in Japan. But
really?
When they came to America, Hasbro was like, hey, let's just call them all Transformers.
I think it worked. Whatever they did, I think they know what they're doing. Yeah. So why do you feel